Hi, starting out solitary. It's Faerie Sarah here for sub-week, and this week we are talking about standing by your faith. So, standing by your faith. I don't feel it is something that I need to remain loyal to. My belief and my pagan witchcraft practice just is what it is in the time that it is, and it's not it's the way I experience something larger and greater than me. I don't need to have faith in it. It just is in the fabric of how I perceive and interact with the world, and it's a changeable, mutable thing. Throughout the whole journey of my witchcraft practice, it has fluctuated and changed and grown and expanded, and that is my path, the way that I've walked through life. That's the reality. I'm not a fixed creature. I'm very fluid and very interested in flow and in the moment, and things change and life changes, and for me, things that are fixed and stuck become stagnant really quickly. For me, I'm not that interested in things like that. In fact, a really large part of me desires to not stand by my faith. In fact, I don't want to be loyal to it. There's no desire in me for this. Instead, I have a desire for true expression. And this is fluid and flux. It is as it is in each moment. I want to stand by that approach to life rather than just standing by my belief in my paganism or whatever flavour of it is. What if one day it didn't serve? Or what if one day it didn't resonate for me? And what if one day it wasn't my truth and I just stuck with it because, I don't know, because I thought I should. I don't ever want to do anything because I think I should do it. I want to do it because the whole part of my inner essence and being screams yes at the thought of it. That's what I want for my life. So interesting. There have been times on my path when I have questioned my beliefs and my practice. There have even been times when I have needed to have a break and to go inward, and even to go away from it all. In these quieter moments, I realise upon reflection that my witch self never wavered. I just had to redefine, regather, remember who I was. It was almost like a redefining point. Some shush from the external noise and come back into my centre. And this always led me back through the doorway to the witch. But it's a choice. It's something I choose for myself. I sometimes don't believe that I had a choice in being a witch. I feel like it's in my blood. But it is a choice to show up and go to my magic space, to create magic in my life. This is a daily choice. I have to choose that some activities I do, and that means that I have certain amounts of time for certain things, and so I do choose that each day there is elements of my witchcraft practice woven through that is a choice to show up. And in the times when I've not made it a priority to make those choices, I have been a miserable shell of myself. There have been times when I have not felt safe to be a witch in the world, and so I've hidden it and not, it's become very quiet. In those times, I was a shadow of myself back in those days. I was all inner world and very, very frightened external world. Because that's how it works, isn't it? If you're going to go and squash a big part of your identity down, and anyone who identifies as anything, if you're in denial or in the closet or hiding out and not truly expressing, authentic expression is so friggin' powerful. That is the magic, isn't it? It takes courage sometimes in this world full of judgy McJudges. So, I'm not going to stand by my faith. I'm going to stand by true expression. This will be what I stand by. I will let that lead the way. My witchcraft is how I interact with my connection to and relationship with all things. I don't feel I need to stand by it. It just is. It is. It's just how I perceive my world. Is this enchanted viewpoint that I can't shake. Don't want to shake it, but even if I wanted, sometimes I do actually think life would be a lot easier if I could just do as I'm told, go to work, tuck my tail in, be normal. And then the times that I've tried doing it, I've been friggin' miserable and then friggin' unwell. So, c'est la vie. Another aspect to this standing by your faith that I thought might be interesting, or maybe another way we could interpret it, is the standing up for your faith maybe. Like maybe what do we do when other people in our life mock or ridicule our pagan practices? And that is something that people do when because it's an unusual perhaps path for some people, if they don't have any pagan friends or family, and they find out that you're a witch. It's not very normal or usual for a lot of people. And so there is fear. There's fear in the unknown. And so people's first remarks can be quite strange, rude, abrupt. And then also people who maybe have a differing religious belief might also find you being a pagan or witch quite confronting. And really, in those times, you just have to everyone needs to do them. Like, you must do you. You must express yourself in your own way. And there is no one right way to do this human life. I promise you, no one got given a map before we came in that said, you must do it this way. And if they tell you they've got that map, they're lying. And run for the hills, run! There's no absolute, we don't know anything. The only thing that we truly know is that we're going to die. Everything else, we're just making it up as we go along. We're tuning in and figuring it out and walking our path to the beat of our own drum. And all these drums, all the paths, they all lead to Rome, is the saying, don't they? Like, where that's... So just let everyone do their own thing. And maybe don't worry about trying to convince anyone about anything. If people ask you about your pagan practices, answer as truthfully and as authentically as you can if you feel safe and like you want to. I often steer clear of all social media forums where people are, what are they doing? They like get their pitchforks and having rants and blah, blah, blah. Like, don't worry about any of that sort of stuff. But if friends or family want to have a chat with you, then have a chat with them. I went to a Catholic wedding once with a family member, and so the groom's family were Catholic, and one of the family members somehow found out that I was a witch. I don't know. Whatever. And so they wanted to speak to me about this, and their first question was, are you a white witch? And I just said no. I'm probably a green witch, I said to her, if we had to be a colour. And she was a little bit like, frightened of this, a little bit taken aback, a little bit shocked, but then this dialogue opened and we got to have a conversation, and it was a conversation that we wouldn't normally have had together and that she wouldn't normally have had, and it was interesting and it was nice, and it was in the safe environment of a family wedding, so all good. I remember once I was working at a Catholic school, and I was a visual arts teacher. You didn't have to be Catholic to work there, obviously. And we were doing a professional development day, and it was run by the chaplain of the school. And he got us to form small groups and talk about how we came into our faith. And I thought, shit. So I wasn't out. of the broom closet at that stage, and nor did I ever intend to be while working at a Catholic school. I just was shushy. That was part of the life when I was just reining it all in and going to the muggle job. I was really unwell at that time. I'm digressing. Anyway, so we had to talk about our faith. And in my group, I wasn't sitting with all the groovy art department. Instead, I'm sitting with all the heads of department, the heads of curriculum, the heads of the school. I was like, shitting myself. What the hell am I going to say? And they're going around and everyone's talking about family and going to church and their first communion and blah, blah, blah. And then it got to me and I just went, I'm a pagan, don't burn me. And they all laughed, thank goodness. And they didn't burn me. But I got to have a discussion about it, and the lady that was the head of my year group actually kept continuing this discussion with me at a later date, and she brought up Bridget, and she said, well, you know, the Catholics couldn't get rid of Bridget, could they? So we had to turn her into a saint. So I was like, oh, look, you guys have heard the tale. So they were really good about it, and I never got asked to teach religion at that school, which was very nice. So, yes. Standing up for our faith. I think authentic expression is my answer to all of this. So, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching me. This one has been a whirlwind. You're wonderful. Leave some comments and stuff below. I read everything and I'll get back to you if you've got any questions. And yeah, if you like this video, give it a like. And you can also check out the Starting Out Solitary Facebook page and leave any comments or questions there too. It's nice to be here. I'll talk to you next month. Okay. Bye. Blessed be.